So as part of our Jira learning is concerned, we have discussed about the personal Jira settings in the last session. About general settings we have discussed. At the same time, notification settings were also completed. The next one being into the Jira administrator role before we are working on the project. At the time of working on the project, we need to do some configurations. We need to make some changes on the application. Either it can be system level, or it can be Jira application level, or spaces, or any work items. Everything has to be performed. So Jira administration majorly of these things. One is about the system part, system managing the general configuration, security, automation, everything will be involved in it. Next, there is any applications you want to connect with, right? So if you want to integrate with any Jira apps, we can integrate with Jira apps here. For example, you want to connect Jira with Confluence, you want to connect with Jira with Jefferscale, or you want to connect Jira with any Azure DevOps like Jenkins or something. Okay, so we can integrate with all these. This is all about the Jira apps part. Next, managing whatever the spaces do we have, etc., followed by the work items, marketplaces, everything will be involved in this. Now, under the Jira administration settings, the first one we need to work with system. Okay, system settings, something that we have to be performed here. Generally, when it comes to the settings, system setting are concerned, generally will be of multiple, because I'm not going all the options in the system setting as I mentioned you. Some basic stuff I'm covering because we are working on the Jira development part, not as a Jira developer alone. Okay, so if you are a Jira developer learning our Jira developer, we must be knowing about audit logs, right? So we must be knowing about permissions, global permissions. We must be knowing about advanced settings, everything we have to perform. So hence I'm not going into that side because Jira administration is completely different. But our focus is more on the end-to-end Jira development. So for that part of before you are going to start the project, what are the basic configuration settings we want to make? That is something that we are covering. So general configuration where we have title, right? So title is already there, right? So at the same time, email followed by introduction, etc. Everything will be involved. Next, internalization, whichever the languages we have, etc. Our installation languages, etc. Everything will be involved. Next, allow users to vote on work items. Everything will be. These are all the predefined options which are available, which we are making it as it is, right? So we are not making any kind of changes on the existing one. We are not making any kind of changes on the existing one here. Next, about the filters part, because there is one more option called filters from an admin point of view. Meaning, if you want to manage any kind of filters or something of that kind, we can do the filters. We can create the filters creation, right? So, for example, any kind of task or something that we have taken, or any kind of user stories do we have. So everything will be mentioned under the filters part are concerned, right? So we can go to search and we can do the filtering process, whatever is required, everything that we can do it. Okay, so we can do that. So these are all will be there. So I am not getting into that managing of filters and all, right? So that's not our realistic. So that's what we do. So general configurations, which I have told you now. These are the basic things which are already there, right? So these are all already there in this, right? So Jira JQL majorly for query language, which is called Jira query languages to extract the queries for that. These are all the options which are enabled so that I am not making any kind of changes on the existing one. So as far as the administration is concerned, I'm talking about Jira admin role, right? So Jira admin role part of it, system administration, etc. This is. Second, about Jira applications. So Jira applications, different requirement to requirement that will vary. So whenever we are working on the configuration front, there are different systems or actual applications you may be having. So if you want to enable, for example, you want to run parallel system for company manager spaces, you can do that. But whenever we are working on the agile environment, normally sprints will be done one after another, not parallelly. Okay, generally we don't maintain parallel sprints. Once the one sprint is completed, then only we go to the next sprint. But here is an option available. What? Because whenever we create any project, there are two kind of projects. One is team managed project. Second is a system managed projects. Team managed project means only one project we are working on and single team will be there. Company managed projects means for that particular company there can be many teams or many projects are involved in the company. So let's say that, for example, one banking project we are working, right? One insurance project we are working, one retail, one healthcare, one logistics, right? So we are working on different clients, different projects, somewhere around 4 to 5 projects we are working. So 4 to 5 projects, sprints will be different, right? So for one project, sprints can be different, other project sprints can be different. So provided if it's a company managed, it's not team managed project, right? If it is a company managed project, then you have to enable it so that we can run multiple sprints. Multiple sprints are not only for one project. Again, I am repeating it. Multiple sprints for different projects. Assume that we have somewhere around 4 to 5 projects. At a stretch, we have started. One project may have one sprint is running. Second project is second sprint is running. In third project, it can be first sprint. It can be so multiple sprints if you want to run. So that space configuration we can manage. Otherwise, not needed. But when we are working for one project, there is no multiple sprints. We work on only one sprint. Next, Jira store data on your device, right? So where it is to be stored, right? So whatever the data that you are managing, so where you want to means if you want to manage and if you want to update this in our own device, etc. So we can update that. Otherwise, it will be updated in the Jira set itself. This is all about the space configuration point of view. Next, public access for forums. Like for example, we are allowing public access for forums in company managed spaces. Sometime back I told you, right? So there are two things. One is team managed project, second is company. So if it's a team managed project and company managed project, everyone require. For example, if you want to allow public access for the forms in team managed spaces, we can do that. Okay, provided public access if you want. Otherwise, we can restrict it. Okay, so we can restrict the public access, wherein public access won't be there. So that can be one option. But as of now, I am enabling it. But real projects generally we don't do that. Okay, we don't do that because there will be no public access. It's only confined to the only company. Storage management and custom onboarding we are not doing. And permissions, right? So this is permissions here. To whose permission? For example, we want to make changes in the application or some configuration changes and all. We don't give permission for everyone. Okay, permissions varies, depends on the kind of role that we manage. Generally, plan administrators will be there who will be having all the permissions, right? So they'll have all the permissions here. So, but make sure what are the goals that we wants to find out, right? So which group they belongs to, right? So add-on group or at the same time, for example, goal admins for Hoodloop Learnings is the group the plan administrator wants to manage. So at the same time, Jira users group also being managed by them. At the same time, Jira admin user access group is being also managed by the plans administrator. So permissions are updated only for the plan administrator, and this is not something will be given for someone. At the same time, even plan users also, because plan users means whoever are using this plan. So whether it can be admin teams, right? So user teams, etc. Everything will be used here. Next, plans viewer, right? So who can view this, right? So who can view these plans? Uh, Users of this they can use it because plan viewers they can use it. At the same time, system administrators can also use it. Okay, they can use it. Yeah, they can use it. Next, about labs access. Labs access, I'm giving only for administrator only, right? I'm not giving for anyone apart, right? So we are giving only access for only for them. So these are all we were doing, especially on this, right? So this is all something part of this administration for the apps point of view we have made here. So Jira apps and all that. Next is about the spaces to be managed. Because my software team, okay, this is what my software team were, and these are the different categories that you can see, right? So if you want to add any new categories to the existing one, so we can add the categories also. or else if you want to manage the spaces, etc. So we can manage the space here. We can manage the space here, right? So space management, if you want to make any changes in the space of this project of my software team, we have, right? So here we can say space settings. My software team, Scrum category we need to select. We need to select a category, manage categories. All right. So which categories are there? For example, I'm just giving an example to you. Right. So design is the space category. Hmm. System designing. Okay. Hmm. System designing is one. Okay. System designing on one space category I'm adding. Okay. System designing is one space category. Next after that, planning. Okay. Planning, design, coding. Okay. One more space for coding. Hmm. So these are the different two codes we have created. So whenever we want to manage spaces, especially for this project, so there are multiple things, right? So here we can see spaces, space settings where we can add it, right? So different spaces we can add, right? So for this, right? So there are two things. One, as I told you, one is about the design part, space we are managing. At the same time, for other stuff also we are managing. Okay, so these are all my view all spaces, whatever the spaces do we have, etc. We can see all these things that we can do. And collection request, etc. not needed. We are not doing it. If you want to create your own space, we can do that. That can be done. At the same time, even we want to have any kind of blog templates you want to use, right? So, or else if you want to use for the templates, etc. I'm using Scrum also because we are working on the Scrum project. So we have taken Scrum. Scrum. Here it is, right? So sometime back, if you remember, I told you team manager or company manager. We have not selected multi-sprints. So team manager project only. Okay. Now, team name or project or goal. For example, I'm creating a project for uh, insurance system administration. Insurance system administration, which is a team manager project. Access only for private. Okay, I'm giving, which is Scrum. And we are selecting. Jira space is successfully created, right? So we have created a space and role, okay, bringing team along, right? So which members are there, right? So we are using enters names and all. Administrator can do most of the things. Are members part of the team who can add, edit, etc. So that we are doing this for these people. Otherwise, if you want to do this later, I can do this later. Okay, we can give that. Now, what we have done, these are the basic settings we have created, and we have started working on a project called Insurance System Administration. Okay, Insurance System Administration. Okay, Insurance System Administration, right? So this is the space I have taken. So this is the project we are going to start this project. Being a team, we want to start the project in Jira. Then insurance projects, insurance management system is the project we want to do. So whatever I have covered so far about the basic settings, again I'm repeating because Jira administration is a complete different ball game altogether, right? So there are a lot of global permissions, filters creation, workflows, Groovy scripting, script runner, right? So there are a lot many things. I am not getting into that because end-to-end Jira development, basic Jira administration were covered. So once we have started, and now what we have done is we have created a project. Now we need to update this summary, we need to update these timelines, we need to update this backlog for the project. So this requirement generally BA will be given. Business analyst come product owner will be given the requirements. What are the requirements this product owner is given? So product owner itself has to mention everything in the timeline. So this part we are going to discuss in the coming session.